Live on YouTube, live on the Rumble. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to...
You're okay, I'm okay.
I thought it was I'm okay, you're okay.
What did I say? Yeah.
You said it in opposite.
I'm okay, you're okay.
Well, clearly you're not okay because you have this title
I'm
backwards.
okay.
And you're okay. Well, that's W. Anyway, I'm Alexander.
The Golden Loon.
And UVRU. Today is Sunday, aka Sunday, May 10th, 2026. You know?
We're a week late and $1 short.
Yeah. But basically, we just discuss topics. Sometimes we disagree, but at the end of it all,
Doesn't matter.
I'm okay, you're okay.
Exactly right.
So, now, what should we tackle first? Should we tackle? Let's. We have three lists. So let's start with the one on the phone here. So Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
Today, that's a good one to start with, yeah.
And we've actually been speaking about Mother's Day the past couple of days on the History Show, like, when it was proposed.
Yeah.
And, what was it?
I forgot the date when it was first created.
Like early 1900s or something? So
pretty far back there.
Well, actually, I do have the document here. So, let's see here. Okay, not that one. There we go. 1908, first Mother's Day observed in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yesterday we spoke about how, Woodrow Wilson brought it into being.
Yeah.
Also, but before that, it was proposed, and we spoke about that and everything. So, and then we have the antithesis of Mother's Day, Father's Day, and everything.
Well, that's a little twist we want to put on it. Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yeah.
Kind of compare them. Mm-hmm. And where's the kid fit into all that?
Well, yeah. I mean, the kid is the most important part. You can't be a mother or a father without having a child.
Right.
So.
But Mother's Day is very special. They gave birth to the child. So that's why it's super special. But simultaneously, does Father's Day really get its fair due?
It does not.
Because I don't think fathers get the credit in the home that they really need.
Absolutely not, especially anymore these days. But you were bringing up a really good point, and you brought up a point, and I want to add to it and everything. Yeah, the mothers are the ones giving birth. But
and nurturing and all of that.
Well, fathers do their own thing as well,
and they nurture their kid
in their own ways and everything.
That's why a mother and father in the home is so important.
Yeah, but I mean, and this is going to sound like a little bit of a harsh comparison or anything. But you don't thank the oven for making a cake, do you? You thank the baker. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, but that's...
Yeah. But I mean, it's just as much a man as it is a woman. The woman, actually carries it, brings us to term and birth and everything. But if it wasn't for the man, that would have never happened. We have to, view both in their own regards and equal,
Actually, yeah, it's all equal in the end, but I think birthing, obviously, is a mother thing, but that birthing, nurturing period, whatever it is, very infancy, is a super bond.
But who's
for
providing
a woman and a child?
Who's providing the walls and the roof for the mother to
I
to
get
take
all
care
of
of the child?
I'm just talking about the bond with the child.
Yes.
Is first with the mother, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And the father's there too. Now later on in life, the older they get, the more important role the father kicks in.
Yes.
Because he's teaching those real life,
the hard lessons that
and
both
have those
both
lessons
men
too.
and women. Yeah, I was going to say that both men and women, males and females, whatever. Indoor, outdoor plumbing, whatever you got. We're all taking a bite out of the shit sandwich that is life.
Yeah.
You got to pay taxes. You got to get money. You got to eat. Everybody has the same problems at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who or what you are, what you believe. You need shelter, you need food, you need water, and you need a place to shit.
Yeah. But that's why I can see why Mother's Day is the bigger deal, because of that initial super bonding of life.
But at the same time, in that, the fathers are getting overlooked.
Well, I think they should make. I think you can't make a. Here's the bottom line for me, and we can move on. Or you can say what you like.
Yeah.
You can't make too big a deal out of Mother's Day. Just can't. Whatever it is, it needs to be all it is.
At the same time, though,
let me finish. I think Father's Day needs to be stepped up a skosh.
Thank you. for saying what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to finish my.
Yeah, no, that was literally what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but at the same time, if we're going to keep pushing Mother's Day, Mother's Day, we're taking the wind out of the sails of Father's Day. If we don't give it the credit it deserves, it won't get the recognition. And right now, we're actually in a critical point of that because there are movements out there to outright cancel Father's Day. Because there is so much misandry, there's so much hatred towards men nowadays.
No.
It's there really is. You want me to look it up?
No, I do not. Now let me say one other thing, disagreeing with you. I don't think you make a big deal out of Mother's Day, bigger and bigger and bigger, big as you want to get it, like I just said. I don't think that therefore diminishes Father's Day. I don't think so.
Well, it does
they
because
both stand alone.
Well, yes, they do. But if Mother's Day becomes this huge thing,
Which it is,
people start wondering, okay, why do we have Father's Day?
Well,
What's the
I
point?
hope not. I mean, fathers are huge.
But that's the exact basis.
Being a father myself,
this is what I'm trying to say. That's the exact basis of a lot of these movements. Not all of them, but a lot of these movements use that as an actual basis. Mother's Day is so big and we love it so much. What's the point of Father's Day? Why don't we just kibosh that and just turn it into another Sunday because it's not getting the recognition. Like the exact same thing that you're saying is being used as a weapon to get rid of Father's Day.
and that's horrible.
Yeah.
Because
if you don't make a big deal out of it and simultaneous with the big deal that's being made of Mother's Day, one is going to get bigger than the other and one's going to shrink and die.
as far as I'm concerned, a mother and a father are equally important.
Absolutely.
In the structure of the family.
Absolutely.
In different ways at different times. I understand
Yes.
all of that. Equally as important.
Yes.
You know.
And that's the problem, though. There's so much misandry and everything, so much hatred towards men that, as I said, I'm going to look this up. Hold on a second. Movement to remove
I don't want to start talking about
fathers.
hating men.
Well, no,
That's not
I
what
don't
we're
want. No,
talking
no, no. I just want to showcase that I'm not just talking out of my ass. So a Father's Day resistance movement is brewing on social media. It's not new, but they've been watching it grow on several social feeds more this year than ever. In the past few days, some men have noted that our yearly Father's Feast serves only to remind them that they have no children. Others, male and female, have remarked that the hoopla serves only to trigger memories of fathers they never knew, who abused or abandoned them, who have died. Many within the Alphabet Mafia community have expressed a distaste of Father's Day serves, promoting toxic masculinity. Like multiple different reasons.
Let me just say one thing off of that topic, not excluding that topic. Unfortunately, in this country, maybe around the world, probably around the world, there are more and more young women with their spouses or whatever that are choosing not to have children, and they will never know what they miss. They'll never know.
But
and it's a shame. They don't get it.
But see,
They
right
don't
here,
get it.
right here, I wanna reread this part. Remark that hoopla serves only to trigger memories of fathers they never knew, who abused or abandoned them, who have died. Well, that same argument. No, hold on. That same argument could be made towards Mother's Day. People have abusive mothers. People have mothers that have died. My mother have died.
Yeah.
So I can literally use this argument that they're using to get rid of Father's Day to argue against Mother's Day. You see what I'm saying? They're attacking.
Kids, and women have abandoned their kids.
Yes.
I mean, you can find all kinds of instances.
But this is what I'm talking about. There's no sympathy towards men at all in Western society anymore.
I disagree.
Well, I have proof in the pudding right
I
here,
hear
man.
what you're reading. That doesn't make it all omnipresent.
No, but the problem that it's starting is a concern enough.
Well, the fact that it's in print bothers me.
Yes.
But I wholeheartedly disagree with it.
Oh, absolutely.
You can take instances from everything.
Well, no, I'm not proposing these to agree or disagree. Primarily, right now, I'm trying to bring you up to speed with it.
Okay, I got it, but no, I disagree. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. I agree with you. We should not ban Father's Day, but we have a serious problem. So.
Well, I hope it's not serious. I hope we can squelch that
It's
kind
serious.
of thinking.
Well, I mean, there's protests seek to end Father's Day. Schools are ditching Mother's Day and Father's Day. So, and this is a point I brought up.
Well, then now you're into a whole nother subject of, ditching family. No family days.
I wanted to bring this up as well because over coffee this morning, we were talking about this, the whole the wordplay that the system is using. They're trying to get rid of the words mother and father, mom and dad, and bring in birthing person.
Yeah.
So that goes alongside that, what I just read, the whole ditching mothers and fathers
That is a
day.
whole nother...
That's a whole nother bag of
That's a
hammers.
whole nother issue entirely. The people that want... There are plenty of people out there that want to break down the family structure. Look at your government as your family. You know, so that's a whole
Now,
nother
see,
topic.
what boggles my mind is, you know, these people, they don't want to celebrate Mother's Day, they don't want to celebrate Father's Day
That's
for
fine.
whatever. Fine, don't. But as soon as you start saying we need to ban this and ban that because of your feelings, up yours.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just wrong. That's when you
Yeah.
start fighting back.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's
Okay.
move on to another subject.
Please.
Kid structure versus freedom. Like, now the whole idea of childhood, like, it's only 110 years old. It's only been around for barely over a century. The idea of a childhood. Like, up until, like,
Right. Oh.
the early 1900s, 1910, 1920, the idea of, like, because, you know, children did go to school. I'm not sure when that law came in and everything, but children did go to school, but they didn't have summer vacation. They didn't have time off. They didn't go play baseball. They didn't go hang out with their friends and kick a can down the road. They went to go, you know, help their family on the farm or go work in a factory or something. The idea of children having time off, having leisure time, you know, going out, like having summer vacation. There's still some countries to this day, like Japan, they don't have summers off. They have summer classes to study other things, you know, or focus on like music or whatever. And, you know, between schools, they have so much extracurricular activities. The idea of being an individual person doesn't exist in a lot of cultures to this day, you know?
Well,
so
just
childhood
to-
is more of a Western
We're a little
thing.
bit off topic, but I'll just, for a personal experience, I remember my dad telling me when I was a kid, oh, when I was a boy, but he lived out on the prairies or whatnot, very, very rural, and they closed the schools for harvest.
Yeah.
All the kids had to go work on the farms and harvest.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about was structure for a kid on his playtime.
Well,
and
yes, I was
free
leading.
time.
I
Okay,
was leading
okay,
into it. I was
okay.
I was giving some backstory.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, if
go
we
for it.
no, see, here's the thing. You know, with how internet goes, if we just jump into, you know, the actual topic, people will come in comments be like, oh, you forgot to mention this, you forgot to mention that childhood. So you got to cover all bases, because if you don't cover a base, that somebody will go after you on the internet.
Well, I invite anybody to
So-
come in and cover any base they want.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of I'm okay, you're okay.
Yeah, well, I just want to
Or you're okay, I'm okay.
I
Either
want to make my viewers aware that I understand that childhood is only like, you know, like a century old thing. You know, like going out, you know, having fun, having summers off and everything. So getting into the actual topic of structure, you know, like how much structure is too much. You know, we want people to enjoy their lives. We want them to go out and frolic, imagine, like, you know, be a kid, how we know it. Now, as I said, it's only been around for like 100 some odd years, but that doesn't mean, you know, we can't allow it to continue.
Well, I think
You know,
structure.
but
and
so
when-
much structure.
And when we're talking structure, we're talking Little League soccer, Little League baseball, soccer,
That brings
ballet.
That brings in the extracurricular activities I was talking about that Japan and a lot of other Asian countries do.
They
That
fill it
they're
up.
very structured.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then they
So-
grow up to be adults who, you know, delete themselves if they dishonor the family or whatever. You know, like they're miserable.
Now, between our social structure and Asian social structure, and this is just a generalization.
A very big
Yeah.
generalization.
So don't take it to the bank.
Yeah.
But I think because we have free time, and I hopefully not too much, because
Yeah.
you do need that
Well,
structure.
Well, we have
and
a lot of
maybe
free
they
time
have
now.
too little.
Yeah.
But the big difference is we have a lot more creative thinking.
Yes.
I mean, if you have to sit there and you have a couple blocks or something, and you're making cars out of them,
Yeah.
roads to run your car around,
Yeah.
and that's all creative thinking.
Yeah.
So you need that.
Yes.
But you also need the structure.
There's a lot of things.
And I'm not saying more school or that. I'm
Yeah.
saying fun structure.
Yeah.
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 You need both. You need a balance. Like everything in life, you need a balance.
Yep. All right. Let's move on. Let's see here. Where is it? Up here somewhere. There it is. Okay. So, vaccinations. So let's get into. Actually, no. You know what? before that, let's talk about public schools. Stay kind of on topic.
Okay.
Public schools. Law mandates education. If one can't afford private schooling, should we force the impoverished masses to get inoculations through this backdoor way? So by law, which on the surface sounds good, but by law, every child in this country, and like the majority of all the countries worldwide have laws akin to this, they have to go attend education. Okay, great. However, the same people who make those laws control everything else, so they can make sure people don't have the money, to afford their own private school systems for really actually good education, and they send them to public schools, which are like beyond inconceivably antiquated now. They're still, to my knowledge, they're still teaching them in the way they did in the early 1900s. And what was his face? Rockefeller. Actually, there's this video. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can find it. Rockefeller school system. This could probably... Okay, that's a lot longer. See, the history of the education system that influences today's schools. I'm trying to find a shorter video. Okay, so... Okay. I hate that this is a short, but let me just play this really quick.
John D. Rockefeller was one of the richest men in the entire world from the oil industry. And in 1903, he funded the General Education Board with a famous quote of saying, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers." The General Education Board's main objective was to create schools that focused on obeying authority, following rules, memorizing, not thinking, and breeding you to work 9-to-5 jobs for elite corporations. That is why we see the mundane subjects in school of things like math, English, and other subjects. And I mean, even look at our schools. They look like prisons. But here's where things get really messed up. John D. Rockefeller also funded big pharma and medical schools, with the initiative being from taking people from natural healing remedies towards pharmaceutical-based care. And from this, he created a perfect system. The schools create the workers. They work forever, which makes them sick. Then they have to take pharmaceutical drugs to stay alive, and from that, he makes endless money. Our education system is really just a monopoly. It is breeding workers so that the elites keep making more money. This is why it is more important than ever for us to wake up and choose differently moving forward.
So this is the point I'm trying to make. We are mandated by law to go get an education. Sounds good on surface, great. But then they make us too poor to afford our own system, so we're put into these government schools and learn this propaganda and enter into the system. It needs change on all fronts, because and then on top of that, hold on, and then from there we were talking about vaccines, and we'll get into vaccinations, because I started this with that, and then we went to public schools. These kind of work hand in hand. So you're required by law to go to school, and then now you're required by law to get a vaccination to go to school. So it's just a way for the system to use laws to make us subjects and guinea pigs and slaves forever in ways that we can't even see on the surface.
Well, I can't argue with his whole structure of the beginning of it and what happened. I'm not on board 100% with his interpretation of it,
okay,
the underlying interpretation. However, it is designed to teach the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always going to lose the top and the bottom. Mm-hmm. They're going to fall out. They don't get what they need.
Mm-hmm.
So the one big difference that's really changing rapidly, is homeschooling.
Yes.
And that is growing in leaps and bounds.
Now, see, here's the problem with that. With homeschooling, the parents are mandated by law to have degrees in teaching. So
No.
Yes, they are.
Not for their own kids.
Yes, they are.
No, I do not believe so.
Okay, well, let me look this up. What is the requirement to homeschool in the U.S.?
No, I don't want that. I want your children to homeschool your children.
What is the requirement to homeschool? What do you mean, children?
If you have 3 kids,
okay,
you want to homeschool them.
Yes.
You can do that. You don't need a teaching degree.
Yes, you do. Homeschooling is legal in all 50 states and roughly 3.5 million K-12 students. when homeschool laws apply. Every state has a compulsory attendance law that sets the ages during which a child must be enrolled in some form of education. The lower end typically falls between ages 5 and 7. Okay, yada yada yada. I'm trying to find. Okay, religious exam. Can you start a notification withdraw? You'll need to file some form of notice before you begin teaching. This document goes by different names depending on the states. Yada yada yada.
Okay. We're getting nowhere.
Yeah.
That's not my
Teaching
point.
parent qualifications. Most states impose no educational requirements on the teaching parent. Okay, you're right. You don't need a teaching certificate, and in many states, you don't even need a high school diploma. Where qualifications are required, a high school diploma or GED typically satisfies the requirement. A small number of more regulated states offer additional pathways, holding a teaching certificate, completing a certain number of college credits, or demonstrating the capacity to provide adequate instruction through other means. In some states, if the parent doesn't meet qualification requirements, the program may need supervision by a certified teacher. Okay, so it's state laws that may, determine that, not federal. I always thought that I was.
No.
Okay, all right. So you're right.
But they may have something, and they should have some way to check up on your kids that you are teaching them something.
Yeah.
So there should be some form of doing that. I don't know if there is or there isn't. There should.
Well,
be.
my
point being,
I just read that they did.
Yeah.
Like where was it?
Yeah.
Like or demonstrate.
Changes from state to state too.
Where is it? The program may need supervision by a certified teacher.
Well,
so there
that's
you go.
the end of it.
Depends on things.
You know,
if the parent doesn't meet qualification requirements,
right.
Okay.
And that's from state to state.
Yeah.
But we certainly need in the masses more creative thinking. Then is there a lot of rote memory, and not enough creative thinking. Puzzle solving.
Yeah.
Okay, you got X, Y, and Z. What happened? How do we fix D?
Yeah. Well, we all know that everything goes into the square hole. You don't remember this?
Oh, kinda.
Basically, like it was a
square.
joke. He puts everything into the square hole, and she slowly loses her mind. So, but yeah. So that's it. Now let's get into the vaccinations.
Okay.
Like now.
And that ties in schools too.
Yes. Well, like with schools, the government mandates vaccinations, and they mandate your kids to go to school. So they're mandating them to go there if you're not homeschooling or private schooling, and then through that they get your kids with whatever God knows chemicals they're putting them in there.
Well, we have to just hope and pray that our government is somewhat legitimate, and hope and pray. I have more faith in it than you do. I'm not 100% sold on the government. But, you have a pretty
Our
low bar.
government killed one of your friends in Vietnam, and you have more faith than me? Are you out of your mind?
That's a whole different deal. Should we have been in Vietnam? Hell no.
No.
But he did go over there. Yeah.
Was he drafted, or did he volunteer?
I can't remember. I probably drafted. I can't remember.
Well, if he was drafted, that only enforces my point even more.
Yeah, and I'm saying probably I just don't remember. That part's irrelevant. No, but the point being, vaccinating our children from different diseases, as opposed to not doing it at all, saves a lot of children's lives.
But nowadays, all of a sudden, like thousands of years of eating bread, and all of a sudden we have gluten intolerances, we have nut allergies, we have autism, we have Asperger's, and it all happened at the same time, all of a sudden.
And it could be in our food, not in the vaccines.
Well, it's in everywhere. It's in the food, the water, the vaccines.
I would say if anything is
the
more
chemicals in the air,
and pure would be our vaccinations for children.
No.
Worry about the food even more.
Well, I mean, like, the Kung Flu, poke.
Yeah.
Like, like that causes things like that one football player on the field.
Yeah, drop.
Or LeBron James' own kid. Like they're not
but
like
they never release why.
It's not. Well, of course not, because they want us.
Yeah, that's right.
They want us to die.
Yeah.
They
don't want them to die. They want to shut up a problem.
Yeah. Well.
But anyways.
Why would they want to shut up? If wanting us to die is not their intention, why don't they tell us their intention?
Their intention was to vaccinate you and not stop vaccinating you with boosters. And if people are dropping over dying and you credit it to that, people won't take the booster.
Yeah.
So you want to be quiet about it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that the vaccine industry today is nothing like back in the time where they made polio vaccines. They actually gave a shit about human lives back then. Now it's all about money and how you can keep people alive just enough to make them a profit.
But polio was a big deal when I was a kid, as you know well. And when they came up with the polio shot, and then later on, and in the masses, you wouldn't have gotten alive with it. And then they eventually had polio.
That was back in the day where vaccines actually worked.
Okay.
So just what I'm saying. So
thousands, if not millions of lives. I don't know how many lives. But see, no way to know.
Now the whole point of bringing this subject is that now the government, now some governments can, but our government is not structured to do this. They cannot mandate vaccines by law. However, they can get their friends who own all the companies to mandate vaccines privately, and then that way they can, do a backdoor workaround of their own law and enforce totalitarian measures upon the populace, And like how many people lost their jobs, like not just in the military, but like all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And that everybody behind that should be freaking exiled or executed.
Yeah, you're talking about
the mandating the vaccines on a private level.
Yeah.
To dangling your job as a Twinkie, on a stick.
You can't.
That's not right.
Now here's a fact that no one talks about, and we'll never know the results of it. With the COVID and the mandating it and everything like that, shutting everything down, what's the most important thing to fight cancer? Early detection.
Yes.
Guess what? Everybody stopped going to the doctor. How many people didn't get early detected? And then over a period of years, it was too late.
Well, I do know of this one.
Nobody will know.
I do know of this one story. I don't remember the exact specifics anymore. But I remember that somebody had a family member, and like I knew this person over Discord. This was like a couple years ago or whatever. But they told me that during all this pandemic, kung flu crap and everything, they had a family member who was one of these people who was afraid to go to the doctor.
Okay.
Ended up dying from like a heart attack or some kind of, not a heart attack, but some preventable condition, something. So for his fear of catching something, he ends up dying. Ends up, what's the old idiom? In your attempt to avoid your fate, you cause it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, moving on up. Let's see here. I can keep these for next month.
Okay, we run out of time here.
No, we have 3 minutes left, and
there's not enough to talk about something.
Well, no, we have one more article here.
Okay.
So the Freedom Truck, the Nation in Motion, like it's the 250th anniversary of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Now why don't you tell us about the bicentennial 50 years ago a little bit first?
Well, first off, when
we
started,
when
we first started coming up, there's going to be 250 years. Holy cow. What happened to the last 50 years when we had the bicentennial? That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, that just shocked me. And we've gone through 50 years, and I remember it like yesterday. I was in Arizona.
Ooh.
And so that's my whole thing. I went, holy cow, 50 years have gone by. Can't possibly be.
Yeah. So and one of the things that they're doing is the Freedom Truck or something.
Freedom Bus or
Freedom.
Well, Freedom Truck.
Freedom Bus. Freedom. What?
I think it's a truck. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going across the entire country, and it's basically like a mobile museum or like an exhibition or something.
You kind of walk through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Zigzag through it, and there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. It's going to all I'm not sure if it's going to Alaska or Hawaii. That'd be.
Probably not.
I
don't know.
Let's
I don't
see,
even know it's going to
California.
all 48 states. Down in
the lower 48?
Lower 48.
Yeah.
I don't even know it's going to all
times. Well, let's see here. But yeah, it only comes to the U.S. once. Or not U.S., it only comes to California once.
We're a huge state. That's really lousy.
Well, because California is a liberal cesspit, and they're probably legitimately worried of leftist, freaking peacefully protesting at this thing and killing people,
Well, they'll only protest things that can catch a leg, and nobody's gonna.
Yeah.
gonna back them on that.
But like I have a feeling that they go to every state like at least 3 to 4, if not more times.
Oh, I doubt that. They don't have time for all of that.
I mean, they might have multiple vehicles.
Well, why once to California? If you
Yeah.
couldn't find any others in there, that's just ridiculous. And it's up in Northern California, right?
Yeah, above north of
or
Sacramento.
something?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So. But yeah, and we are on the half hour on the dot. So
Okay.
yeah, so like
That's
you know,
fun.
happy buy and a quarter centennial, whatever it's called. Like, isn't there a weird word for it? Because like it's
Well, no, I don't know what it would be.
well, like they have a word for it.
Buy and a half? Buy
Yeah.
centennial and a half? I don't know. 250
so
years, all I
years.
know.
Yeah.
Halfway there to tricentennial.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So like I hope you all enjoyed listening to us talk about all this stuff. It's been fun and everything.
And all I can say is it would be awesome if I'm around for the tricentennial.
Another 50 years?
Don't think so.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Good answer. With that, adios.
All right. For all of you and all of us, I'm Alexander.
Golden Loon.
And if you are thank you for coming in once again to check us out. You please check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. We stream the show every first Sunday of the month, unless something happens, like somebody's out of town or whatever happens. But it will happen.
And join in. We want comments.
At 3 o'clock p.m. Yeah, speaking of comments, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So, do we have any comments? Nope. So, yeah. We do have other shows. We have a history show coming up in an hour and a half, actually. We do that every day at 5 Pacific time. And we have news, every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time and everything. So, yeah. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!